Let's talk about the storage of fruits and vegetables in the industrial setup. This is also called as post-harvest management, and it requires a lot of proper techniques for handling and storage of fresh fruits and vegetables, because if we use these techniques properly, the losses of fruits and vegetables can be minimized. And the other benefit is they can reach to the end consumer in the uh, freshest possible shape and form, which is desirable, and that can bring better revenues. So, as we earlier said once, that the losses in fruits and vegetable or the post-harvest losses are very high. They may range from 5 to 50%, and they are even higher in developing countries. Particularly in our country, we also waste lots of fruits and vegetable during post-harvest operations because of not having much expertise, as well as the storage facilities or the proper equipment required for processing of these fruits and vegetables. So we do waste a lots of fruits and vegetables. This is in range of 50% or even higher. So that would mean that tremendously very high losses of end products that leads to the reduction of profit of farmer, as well as loss of resources, loss of useful labor, as well as time. So this is highly critical that we handle these fruits and vegetables in a way to avoid these losses, and on the other hand to produce fresher products available for the end user to combat the food security issue and the quality of these products as well. So if we talk about industrialized country, as I talked about the developing countries, but if we talk about the developed ones, they have made very good progress in developing proper systems for handling of fruits and vegetables, right from the harvest till the consumption by the end user. They have got very good systems developed for handling and storage of these fruits and vegetables, so that they can reach in many different forms and in very good form to the end user. So if we talk about the factors why we need to have proper handling and storage of fruits and vegetables, because they are the living things, so there would be respiration process that would continue during the storage of these process, as well as distribution or transport as well. So this process of respiration would not stop after harvest in these fruits and vegetables. So there would be constantly physiological changes that would be taking place in these fruits and vegetables, and these are all due to the respiration process. So oxygen has got an important role to be play in respiration of these fruits and vegetables. There could be two kinds of respiration. As you know, it is aerobic respiration that would require oxygen, and anaerobic respiration that would not require oxygen for the process. So if we talk about this anaerobic respiration of fruits and vegetables, the end product of this anaerobic respiration are ketones, aldehydes, and alcohols. Once these products are formed within these fresh produce, they would be toxic to these plant tissues, and they would hasten the decay of these products. So anaerobic respiration would lead to a quicker losses in the end product, that is fruits and vegetable here. So there are different mechanisms by which we can actually slow down this process. Slowing down this process would mean increasing the useful life of fruits and vegetables. And by increasing the useful life, it would mean that it can be made available for a longer time to the end user. So that would mean lesser losses and more variety and availability of these end products in the market for a longer time. So if we talk about one of the approach to increase the shelf life, it is to actually limit the amount of oxygen that would be helpful in increasing the shelf life of these fruits and vegetables. The second most important factor is temperature control. Right from the start, before it is harvested or soon after harvested, we have to control the temperature, because this temperature has got direct relation with the metabolic speed and the processes of the metabolic reactions. So if we can lower the temperature, that would enhance the shelf life of fruits and vegetables, because generally heat would be generated during the respiration process of fruits and vegetables. So if we reduce the temperature, there would be the metabolic rate would be slower. One of the another very important thing that has to be considered for preservation of fruits and vegetables is the ethylene content in the surrounding environment. On this basis, basically the use of ethylene or importance of ethylene, fruits and vegetables can be divided into two groups. One is called as climacteric fruits or vegetables. So they produce ethylene and carbon dioxide. During the process of respiration, they would be producing carbon dioxide as well as ethylene. And this ethylene would have an impact on ripening of these fruits. So once they are put together, the ethylene generated and the ethylene present in the surrounding environment would be controlling the rate of ripening in these fruits and vegetables. And this happens even in case of artificial ripening as well, when we have to ripen certain fruits, for example, mangoes, particularly in our country, the ethylene chambers are used, and the concentration of ethylene is used when we need to ripen these mangoes, so they get artificially ripened. There could be other directly used ethylene chambers, or we can use calcium carbide as well, that by reaction with water it would produce ethylene. So this ethylene would actually be ripening those fresher produce. The second class is called as non-climacteric fruits, and they do not produce ethylene. So they would not be ripened by ethylene as well. So if we can control the amount of ethylene, generally as I said in chambers, ethylene chambers where the amount of ethylene can be controlled, we can control the rate of ripening as well as the shelf life of these products. So talking about these groups, climacteric fruits and what are non-climacteric fruits, here is the list that, as you can see, that in case of climacteric fruits, we have very common fruits such as apples and apricots, avocado, banana, blueberry, figs, mango, etc. And on the other hand, you can look at the non-climacteric fruits group. These are not the very common one, but they are blackberry, olives or orange, grapes, peppers, lime, locust, lychee, and the list goes on. But as you can see that these fruits, they can be divided into two groups, and they are very much distinct from each other in terms of their shelf life as well as the behavior during transport and handling. So if we can use the proper the temperature factor properly, we can avoid chilling injuries and freezing injuries. There is a risk that if this low temperature application to fruits or vegetable is not properly exercised, there might be chilling injuries or freezing injuries that would spoil these products, and they would not be edible at the end. So summarizing, what are the best ways to store our fruits and vegetables? They must be stored under low oxygen concentration. They should have higher carbon dioxide concentration, and they should have proper storage temperatures. And as I earlier discussed, another technology which is similar, this is called as modified atmosphere packaging. That is also very much similar, in which we can control the concentration of different gases in a chamber in which these fruits are kept, and the rate of ripening or the storage life that can be determined, or that can be controlled by maintaining proper concentration of different gases within the surrounding environment. So this is how we actually store fruits and vegetables under proper conditions to enhance their shelf life.